Okay, we're going to spend the next few videos talking about factoring, specifically factoring polynomials. So here we have a binomial. There are two terms, 15p squared, subtract 25p. And it says factor out what they have in common. Well, if we took the time and wrote 15 as 3 times 5, p squared is p times p, and I'm going to put the subtract sign. 25 is the same as 5 times 5, and that's p to the first. And then let's pay attention to what they have in common. They have a p and a p. They have a 5 and a 5. Do they have anything else in common? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. They each share a 5 times p. So I'm going to put a 5 times p on the outside of parentheses. I'm going to call this the reverse distributive, which is just another word for factoring, distributive. Because normally we start on the outside and multiply. Now we're starting on the inside and we're factoring out what they have in common. And then notice what we have that's left. We have a 3 times p to the left of the subtract sign, and we have a 5. So this thing right here, factored, equals this right here. So 5p times 3p subtract 5. And this is how you check to see that you did it right. Do the distributive now. 5p times 3p. Well, 5 times 3 is 15. P times p is p squared. There's the subtract sign. 5p times 5 is 25p. Yep, that's what we started with. Okay, so now let's look at another one. So look at what we have here. We have neither of these share a 5, whoops, but what they both have, so if we wrote that as 5, y cubed is y times y times y, x times x, plus 4, y times y, and notice what they have in common. Here's a y times y, here's a y times y. So I'm going to, y times y is y squared, so those y squareds get factored, and then look at what we have. We have 5 times y times x, which is x squared, plus 4. So writing factors out is a good way to do it. So let's see what we have here. Well, negative 8 is the same thing as writing negative 2 times 4, and that's x to the 4th. So that's an x squared. I'm just going to write x to the 4th as x squared times x squared, and then times y squared, and then subtract 12 is the same thing as 3 times 4, and there's an x squared. Well, here's a y squared. Well, y cubed is the same thing as y squared times y. And now let's look at what they have in common. They each have a 4 in common. There's an x squared. There's an x squared. There's a y squared. There's a y squared. So the 4, an x squared, and a y squared comes out. So the 4 goes away, the x squared, the y squared, 4x squared, y squared. Then we're going to put the parentheses. Oh, and yeah, then we're going to put the parentheses. And then let's see what's left. We have negative 2 times x squared, so negative 2x squared. That subtract sign. What we have left is 3y. All right, so that is factoring polynomials. And then the next video will be on special relationships. That's it for this one.